Today is Sunday, so I'll give my words of exhortation. Today I'll talk about God and wealth. Today I'll talk about demystifying God and wealth. Usually when you start a presentation, the natural thing is to talk about the definition of terms. So everybody knows who God is. So I won't dwell more on that. I would focus on wealth. Wealth is connected to abundant financial resources. Now, I've discussed in the past that wealth is different from riches. Now, the best way to differentiate riches from wealth is to describe it as the difference between social media and print media. You know, even the Bible describe riches as seasonal. And when we say seasonal, it means that there is a season in a man's life when he is going to have money. There is also a season in a man's life when that money would disappear or evaporate in thin air. So if you say wealth and riches, their difference is connected to the difference between social media and print media. What do I mean? Now, on social media, people have gotten to understand what you call a trend, viral trend. So when something trends, it gives you an idea that that trend is for a season. See, people go on social media, they say something is trending. Today is a news, it is now trending. People, they'll be interested in that trend, they'll be following it judiciously. So it trends today, it might not trend tomorrow. People are interested in that trending topic. Let me give an example of Two-Face Idibia. Two-Face Idibia is a popular Nigerian musician. Now, Two-Face has family problems the same way everybody has family problems. But the family problem got into social media because some of his family members, they were interested in ranting. They were interested in venting their anger on social media. So it became a trend. This week, Two-Face was practically trending. People will go on social media, and that is the rave of the moment. Let's not forget, I'm trying to use my wealth of knowledge or experience to differentiate riches from wealth. And I've just used a typical example everybody can relate to. And I say it's the difference between social media and print media. On social media, if something trends today, it can trend tomorrow, it can trend next tomorrow, but it will not always be trending. That's exactly how it is with riches. A rich man is engaged in a season of his life. Riches are linked to seasons. It's the same thing with a football player. You see, a football player has a very, very fantastic career. Everybody loves him. He's attracting value. The markets, they are interested in him. Clubs, they are interested in signing him. That football player is in a season of his life. So you can call him rich because clubs will not always be interested in him. He would not have his form forever. That's it. Whether you call him Ronaldo, whether you call him Lionel Messi, whatever it is you want to call them, that's exactly how it is. A rich man is engaging in his riches for a season. Riches are seasonal. Somebody like Lionel Messi, somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo, they will not always be informed because with time, age will catch up with them. So now they are on demand. It is like a social media trend. People are interested in them. It's the same thing with the Nollywood actors. Somebody like Peter Edochie, there was a season in his life, everybody was interested in the Okonkwo character, and things fall apart. Today, he's growing old. So there was a season in his life he was trending. There was a season in his life he was a viral trend. That's the point. So, but for wealth, it is totally different. Wealth is not seasonal. So I've talked about social media and I've linked it to riches. So for wealth, it is what you call wealth is like print media. So if you say there's a two-faced DBR story and it's trending, and after this week, next week it's no longer trending, you forget about it. But for print media, it's different. If there's a news story about the president that is trending, and you go to a newspaper stand and you buy that newspaper and you keep it in your house, do you know what you have succeeded in doing? You have that story for life. There are a lot of people that archive old newspapers. Go to their houses, you see newspapers in their houses, old ones. So permanently, they have that story with them. That's the difference. So even in 2 years' time, as long as that man has that newspaper, that story would always be with him. He can even give it to his son. Two-Face Idibia can trend on social media. He goes and he buys a newspaper. And in that newspaper, they capture it. Two-Face Idibia, this. If he keeps that newspaper in his house, even when his children, great-grandchildren begin to grow up, he'll bring it out and show them. See, there was a season in my life I was on song. There was a season in my life I was enjoying riches that it was captured on media. It was captured on social media. It was captured in the whole of Nigeria. I became the rave of the moment. He'll bring a newspaper and he'll show it to his children. That is exactly what wealth is. Wealth is not seasonal. Wealth is linked to sustainability. See, you are dead, you are gone, you are still wealthy because your children, they can never suffer. You are dead and you are gone. Your great grandchildren, they are still wealthy, they can never suffer. Let me give you an example of wealth. You can say wealth is generational. So generational means from generation to generation, there is still abundance. From generation to generation, there is still sustainability. Let me give an example. Now, you could be wealthy via the right source, and you could also be wealthy via the wrong source. Today, there is a former Nigerian head of state. The guy's name is General Sani Abacha. Now, Sani Abacha was famous when he was head of state because people had no idea what he was doing with the coffers or the national treasury of Nigeria until when he died. It was when Sani Abacha died that we began to hear that the guy stole so much money. Foreigners, they will say there is money in our country in Switzerland, so billions of dollars, and they say it's linked to Sani Abacha. The Nigerian government will hear about it and say, oh, so we are coming to collect our yams. Another country will say there's billions of dollars in our country is linked to the late General Sani Abacha. The Nigerian government will say, oh, we are coming to collect our cocoyams. Another country will say there is billions of dollars in our accounts is linked to General Sani Abacha. The Nigerian government will say, oh, we are coming to collect our potatoes. That is exactly how it is. So if you go and look at General Sani Abacha, the guy, you can see before he died, he amassed so much wealth. That guy is dead and gone, but check his families, check his sons, check his grandsons. They are still swimming in wealth. I got the shock of my life when I got to learn that in Saudi Arabia, there is a school where rich people send their children to for kindergarten and nursery. I got to find out that General Sani Abacha's grandchildren, they were attending that school. See, if you do not have oil wealth, if you are not stupidly wealthy, you can't send your children to that school. I think they call it Jumaria or something like the name of the kindergarten or the name of the nursery school. See, that is the school General, the late General Sani Abacha's grandchildren are going to. So what does that tell you? The guy is dead. He's gone. But yet, his grandchildren, they are still swimming in wealth. Now, you see, the Bible made it very, very clear that wealth is not what God can give you. Now, when you talk about the Bible, you need to come up with scriptures or scriptural references. In Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18, the Bible says that God will give you the power, emphasis on the word power, to produce wealth. So it did not say God will make you wealthy. No. It says God will give you the power to become wealthy. In Proverbs chapter 23, verse 5, the Bible says, cast but a glance at riches. I've said riches is seasonal. I'm just trying to bring scriptural references to validate or confirm what I've been saying. In Proverbs chapter 23, verse 5, the Bible says, cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone. For they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the skies like an eagle. So what that means is that you can have a good job today, tomorrow you don't have it anymore. What that means is that as long as riches is concerned, you can be on song today, you can be informed today like a famous football player. Tomorrow you might not be informed. You might have injuries. You might have steady earnings today. Tomorrow it is gone. So that is the Bible's description of riches. So if you want to enjoy biblical wealth, if you want to enjoy prosperity, you should be interested in diligence. You should be interested in seeking God. You should be interested in seeking righteousness. You should be interested in living a holy life. You should be interested in walking in the ways of God. And by so doing, you should be interested in keeping God's commandments.